Today we got a gourmand fragrance for you that smells straight up like calamari. It's called Squid.
Bootstrap Bill, you're a liar and you will spend an eternity on this ship.
Today we're going to review Squid by Zoologist, and if you don't know anything about the fragrance house, you're going to want to stick around. They've got some unique fragrances. This, for me, is one of their best. Stick around. Squid by Zoologist coming up. Let's get started. This is My 2 Cents. My name is Sean. If you haven't been here before, welcome, and if you have, welcome back. Today we're going to review Squid by Zoologist. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the brand Zoologist, but I have a couple myself right up here. I have about 7 or 8 of them behind me on the shelf, but this is one of the more special ones. So Zoologist is a niche perfume house based in Canada, which was founded by Victor Wong. Victor works in collaboration with different perfumers to come up with scents that are based on the idea of different animals. Now, they don't actually smell like the animal, thank God. They smell more along the lines of the animal's habitat, or even the idea of what that animal invokes in your mind when you think about that animal. So for something like Squid, if you immediately think of calamari or seafood smell, that's not what this is going to smell like. That would actually be disgusting. For this particular fragrance, Victor Wong worked with a perfumer named Celine Burrell. This is a 2020 release from the house, and for me, it's one of their most wearable fragrances. This fragrance invokes for me something dark, something mysterious, something aquatic, but it's basically got all of those things mixed up together and blended beautifully. This is a 2020 release. As you can see, each one of the bottles has a picture of the animal that it's supposed to represent on it. It's usually dressed up in some Victorian garb or with a wand or a cape or something on it. So I don't know if you can see it here, but the squid kind of looks like Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean movies, either intentionally or not intentionally. So with the squid, you might think this is going to smell something like a beach or something like the shallows of the ocean, but that's not the case. This has notes which make you think immediately of the depths of the ocean. This is a very dark fragrance. Let's get to the notes so we can better understand what we're smelling. So if you go to Fragrantica, take those notes always with a grain of salt. In the top we have incense, amyl salicylate, pink pepper. In the middle you have ink, sea salt, and opoponax. And in the base you have ambergris, benzoin, and musk. So for this scent, the core identity of it is going to be the ink note. You think of squid, you think of the black ink. That is the first thing that you get. That's what makes it unique. That's what makes it instantly recognizable and what sets it apart, I think, from the other fragrances by Zoologist. As it sticks around longer, you get both the ambergris and the opoponax, which I imagine are meant to convey that oceanic scent, but the ink actually brings it back and makes it somehow cozy. The ink, which could be a powerful note, it could be sharp, seems to have the edges softened. That's probably by the ambergris. The ink note here is not sharp, it's not metallic, it's sort of velvety. I think that there's a very intelligent use of musk in the base notes here. The musk seems to soften it. I think the ink could otherwise almost smell sterile, but it adds sort of a human touch to it, and it makes it sort of sit on top of the skin rather than just making it disappear. What surprises me most about this fragrance is, for how unique it is, it's also extremely wearable. You could wear this in the summer, the fall, the winter, the spring. You could wear this at night. You could wear this during the day. This is a very, very easy to wear fragrance. It's not going to be one of those fragrances that you're going to walk in a room and you're going to turn 86 heads. This is one of those scents that's going to linger in your personal space for a few hours. People are going to come up to you if they're close to you. They're going to smell it. They're probably going to wonder what you're wearing. I'm not sure if they're going to ask you what you're wearing. It depends on what kind of friends you have, but it's definitely not something that's going to scream. I would say it's safe to say that this has a strong projection for the first hour or so. Between hours 1 and 2, it probably settles down more into the skin, but it keeps a pretty strong personal aura basically in conversation mode. All right, now it's time for my 2 cents on Squid by Zoologist. So I think it's no secret, I absolutely love this fragrance. I think it's one of the most wearable fragrances by Zoologist. This is what happens when a fragrance sort of dares to be poetic. It's oddly addictive, it is unique, it doesn't smell like every other fragrance out there. I wouldn't say this is an easy wear, I wouldn't say this isn't an easy wear, but it is definitely a rewarding scent. It's moody, it's mysterious. What they've done here is they've gone out on a limb to create something that nobody else is doing. I don't know any other fragrances that smell like this. If you know this scent, I would be interested to hear your comments to see if there's anything else that smells like Squid. Like I said, this has the ink note stands out front and center. So do I recommend Squid? Absolutely. I am a huge fan of this fragrance. I'm a huge fan of the house Zoologist. I think what Victor Wong is doing over there is very inventive. It's unique. It's not like any other house. And I think if you go into Zoologist and you expect the unexpected, that's where it's most rewarding. This fragrance is not going to be for everyone. If you're a fan of niche perfumery, this fragrance is not going to smell like anything you've smelled before. And if it does, let me know. Write a comment. Tell me what this smells like to you. But when I bring people into my apartment and I let them smell the stuff in the cabinets behind me, and I reach for this one, everybody is sort of confused because they don't know exactly what they're smelling. And then when you tell them they have that ink note, it hits them immediately. And I think that's what makes the fragrance so appealing for me, is that it's got that unexpected note. So do I think Squid is going to be for everyone? Probably not. This is for somebody who wants to push the boundaries a little bit without going too over the top. If the ink note is not your thing, you're probably not going to want this fragrance. But if that's something that you're interested in, or smelling something unique, then I would definitely recommend going to check Squid out. So this is going to be one of those fragrances that you're going to definitely want to try out before you commit to. You can go to Zoologist. I know that they have samples that you can purchase. He'll send them to you before you commit to a full bottle of it. Or you can go to any one of those online perfume shops that sells or carries Zoologist. They'll make a decant for you, 2 ml, 5 ml, 10 ml, whatever you want, before you commit to the full bottle. Like I said, I don't think this is going to be necessarily for everyone, but there's nothing offensive about this scent. This is a unique scent. If you are a fan of niche perfumery, this is still going to be one of those fragrances where you're going to wonder what you're smelling. All right, so thanks for watching. That was my 2 cents on Squid by Zoologist. I do want to say that if you are a fan of no fluff fragrance reviews and you haven't subscribed yet, definitely please hit the subscribe button. And if you liked this particular fragrance, or if you're a fan of Zoologist, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what your favorite fragrances are from this house. And if you like this particular video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Once again, this was my 2 cents. My name is Sean. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next video.